I thrifted this massive king-size quilt. It's folded in half, and I still can't even get the whole thing in frame. This is an insane amount of quilted fabric. I can't even keep holding it up because it's too heavy. And I thought it would be fitting to wear my comfy patchwork sweatpants. No, I did not make them. I wish I did. I bought them from Urban maybe a couple months ago. I have a lot of plans for this quilted blanket. So hello and welcome. My name is Bianca, and this is a place to inspire and to be inspired. Ugh. I am not a professional, just a girl with a sewing machine and a vision. And if you like crafty content like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you hit that little bell icon, you'll never miss a Monday video. So for this video, I want to use a portion of this to make a quilted jacket. I have been seeing so many quilted jackets on my Pinterest, not only on my Pinterest board, but on websites like Free People and Urban Outfitters. So today we're going to be making our own. I got the pattern off of Etsy, and if you like how this turns out and you want to make one for yourself, here is the Etsy account that I purchased the pattern from. I've never used one of their patterns before, but based on the reviews, it's pretty easy to follow. And since I'm going to be making this jacket out of pre-quilted material, it's actually going to save me quite a bit of time. I am not very experienced with quilting fabric and using batting, but since I have this, I figured I might as well use it. So I need to figure out my layout for all of my pieces and then how I want to center this pattern here. So I'm going to do that real quick and then I'll come right back. Okay, so I think I'm going to start by cutting out the back panel, and I want to have it centered on this portion here. So this is supposed to be cut on a fold, but since I'm doing this on a quilt, I think I'm just going to trace around this and then flip it and then trace the rest of it. And that way I can make sure it's centered. And then for the front panels, I think I'm going to cut one like this, and then I'll flip it over on this side to make it symmetrical. Okay, we finally have all of our pieces cut out. And before we can continue, I need to go to the craft store and get some bias tape. And I also want to find some metal snap buttons for the front of this jacket. I'm thinking for the bias tape, I would like to do a deep red or a maroon. I feel like I could also get away with using green, but I'm thinking if I put too much green in this, it might look a little too Christmassy. So at the second craft store, I found this burgundy color, which I think I would rather use over the olive green that I found. And then I got some matching thread. I ended up getting two different sets of buttons, but I like this color more. This one is more of like a brass. And then the snaps that I found at Walmart were a much darker brass, but I definitely like these more. And then these pieces here are the pockets. This is going to be folded under like this. And then they're going to be placed on either side. And I'm going to be adding this bias tape around the edges here, and then we can attach the pockets on. And then I'm also going to attach these panels here to the front before we add in these little buttons. And then I think the rest of the project is going to be pretty straightforward, just attaching all of the panels together. I'm probably going to use my serger to attach them just to make sure that it's super durable. And then any top stitching I need to do, I'm going to do with this color here. And this whole perimeter is going to end up getting this bias tape. So this edge here will look a lot cleaner once that's added. But for now, I'm not going to worry about those, and I'm going to move on to these pockets. I already serged this edge and then folded it under and did a top stitch here. But now we need to add this bias tape around this edge here. And for the bias tape, we're going to open it up like this, and we're going to pin this with the good sides together. And I'm just going to be doing a top stitch along this portion here, making sure to leave this open so that we can use the pocket. here's how the front panels are looking now that we've attached both of the pockets. I'm going to go ahead and use my serger around all of the raw edges before we start attaching the panels together. And now we can start attaching these together. This here is the back panel, and then we have both of our side front panels. And I'm going to start by attaching it with the good sides together at the shoulder on each side. Now we have the fronts together. So I think the next step is going to be attaching the sleeves. And we're going to be attaching the wider part of the sleeve to this portion here. So I'm going to put the good sides together. And now with the jacket inside out, we can do a top stitch along the bottom of the arm and then connect it at the side as well. And then we can finally try it on. And I went ahead and pinned the collar piece in place, and now I'm just going to attach this with my serger. My plan was to show you guys the progress update before I attached the collar, but I was running out of daylight, so I went ahead and attached the collar, and now I feel like we're too close to the finish line, so I might as well just finish it entirely and then try it on. But so far, here's how we're looking. I think it's looking so good. All we need to do is add the bias tape around the perimeter here, and then add the buttons to the side. And here is the finished result of our quilted jacket. I love this. I think it's so cute and so comfortable. I decided to roll the sleeves because they're just a little bit long like this. I do like the detail here at the sleeve, but since they're a little bit longer, I think I'm just going to keep it cuffed like this. And the snap buttons were pretty easy to use once I got the hang of it. I did hit my thumb quite a few times with the hammer, but aside from that, I would use them again. Also, I made the size small and it's definitely oversized. I think if I were to make this again, I would probably even size down to an extra small, but I do like how cozy this is. And the next thing we're going to be making with all of our leftover quilted fabric is going to be a quilted tote bag. But before we can get into the next project, I want to go over today's sponsor, which is Skillshare. And if you've never tried Skillshare, it's basically an online learning community with thousands of classes for creative people. Lately, I've been using it to level up my quilting skills. One class I've been obsessed with is Julie Ray's Quilting for Beginners class. It's a 3-part series and they're between 30 minutes and an hour long, so super easy to digest. The way she breaks everything down is super beginner friendly, but still inspiring if you already know what you're doing. What I like the most is that you can watch at your own pace. And the classes are short enough that I can fit them in between filming, editing, or honestly just while I'm drinking coffee in the morning. And as someone who is mostly self-taught, it is such a game changer to have a platform like Skillshare. So even if you think you might be a master at your skill, whatever that might be, I think you would be surprised at how much more there is to learn. And this platform has made the whole process so much easier. The first 500 people to use my link in the description or scan the QR code will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. And don't forget, you could also gift Skillshare memberships to friends or family. So get started today. All right, back to our quilted project. And I needed to zoom out just to show you guys how much fabric we have left over. This is insane. I think I want to make a tote bag next. I don't have a pattern, so I'm basically just going to be winging it, and I'm going to cut out a couple rectangles and then a couple pieces for straps. And I think I want to use a portion over here to actually get a part of the quilted pattern here. I shifted the quilt so that this part was centered where I want it. I'm just going to try to measure out a symmetrical rectangle, and then I can use that as my pattern for a second piece, and then I'll just attach them together. So for these two panels, I wasn't able to make the pattern symmetrical. So this will be one side and this will be the other. And for the height of my rectangle, I have about 17 inches, almost 24 inches for the width. And now I'm going to put the good sides together. And I'm gonna be using my serger to go around these edges here. If you don't, you could just use your standard sewing machine, and then if you wanted to cover the raw edge, you could use binding or bias tape. Now that we've serged this edge here, this part is still open. I want to work on these bottom corners, so I'm just going to match up the seams, pinch them like this. And this is for the bottom of my tote bag. I'm going to measure about 5 inches. And I'm gonna mark this straight across. And now I'm going to cut this off. And you could do this with a standard sewing machine, but since I want to seal off this raw edge, I'm gonna use my serger and go across this top portion here. And here's what the bottom of the bag will look like now that we sewed that part straight across. So we still need to do the same thing to this side so that it matches and looks more like this. So here's how the bottom is looking. This is going to be the top, and I figured I might as well use my bias tape. Now we've added our bias tape around the top perimeter. This is basically a beach bag. This is going to be a huge tote bag. We just need to make some straps. I think I decided on making them 30 inches long, and I think I'm going to make it 5 inches wide and then fold it in half with the good sides together, sew all the way down, and then flip it right side out and do a couple of top stitches, and then we can just attach them right to the bag. I really want to try to make a pair of quilted pants. So I had limited quilted fabric to use for the straps. But I figured this would work because we're going to fold it in half and then sew down the side, and then we can flip it right side out. But basically one side will look like this and then the other side will look like this. And I think that might be cute. Okay, and here's how the straps are looking. I did end up serging both of the ends, and I went ahead and marked 5 inches from the side seams on each side, the front and the back panel. And I want this to be reinforced, so I'm going to sew it in a square and then do an X pattern. And here's a close-up of how that looks. And then from the inside, this bag is even bigger than I was planning on it being. I definitely think I will be using this as a quilted beach bag or like a carry-on. It's huge. I am going to be attempting to make the pants next. I'm going to reference this video because I don't have a pattern for pants, but I will be using a pair of pants I already own, and then I'm going to make my own pattern out of those. So I'm going to lay out the rest of our quilted blanket. I have a feeling I'm going to end up using a lot of the white for the pants because that's what I mostly have left over. I don't have a lot left over with this pattern here. I might have to lay this out on the floor. So these are the pants that I'm going to be cloning, and to make the pants I need 2 front panels and 2 back panels. I think I want to keep this bottom border consistent and use this for the back and the front panels, but I don't have enough width over here to do all 4 panels. So I think I might have to do 2 over here where we have some of this panel. Also, I think I can get away with using this hemmed edge here, and then I don't have to worry about seam allowance at the bottom. So now we have 2 front panels and then 2 back panels. And now I'm going to take a back and a front, and I'm going to attach them together at the curve here. And we're going to attach it down the leg here, which is going to be the inseam. So now I've done the same thing to both sides, and I'm just going to match these up like this. We want to make sure that the front panels are together and then the back panels are together. And now we're just going to match up the seams here, and then we can sew along the U shape. So now our pants should look something like this, and we can flip this around. And this is how the front of our pants will look, and this is how the back will look. And now we can just attach these by doing a stitch down each side. Okay, the sun is about to set, so I think I'm gonna have to finish this tomorrow. But just to show you guys where we're at so far, and I think the fabric on the legs will lay a lot smoother once I press the side seams. So basically all I think I wanna do is even out this waistband and then fold it under and then just add elastic to the waistband. So something I like to go by when I'm doing elastic on the waist, whether you want it to sit at your waist or lower on the hips, whatever that measurement is, if you subtract about 5 inches, at least for me, that has worked out perfectly for my elastic. So I'm just going to roll it under one time, but I'm gonna sew a little pocket in the back so that I can weave this elastic through. Now I'm gonna use this giant safety pin, and I'm just gonna start weaving this through our little opening. Now that we got the elastic through the waistband, we're going to sew these two pieces together like this, and then we can close up this opening here. And here's the finished result of our pants. As you can see, they're definitely a lower rise than I wanted, but I think they turned out really good. And I don't know if you can tell on camera, but the length of these are perfect. The only thing they're missing are some pockets, but I just wanted these to be as simple as possible, so no pockets. This is all of our leftover fabric after making a pair of pants, a jacket, and a huge tote bag. And not that I plan on wearing all of these together, but for the sake of the video, I'm gonna show you everything on together. I definitely think this would be overkill if I went out in public like this, but I'm just so proud of everything. This was my first ever jacket, and I think every time I go to the thrift store now, I'm going to be looking for quilts that I can upcycle because this was so fun, and I want more quilted jackets and pants now. If I do end up making anything that I didn't already make in this video, I think I'll probably film it for a short video. So that is all for today's video, and until next week, bye!